if you are a parent who describes your child as manipulative and you're already at a point right now where you either yell when they do something, or you threaten to take something away, or you immediately punish when you see the undesired behavior happening, I want you to listen to this because I want to just offer you a reframe. So first and foremost, I understand why parents say this. It is likely because you have tried everything. You feel completely fatigued by the behavior that keeps repeating itself. And as a result, because you feel like you've done everything you can do, it just seems like clearly this is your child being intentionally mean, purposeful in their decisions, they're being deliberate. So as a result, we assume that they are manipulative. Once we adopt that belief and we think to ourselves, he is manipulative, we automatically shift from a response pattern, meaning we're looking at what our child needs and thinking about how we can help them meet those needs. Now we've shifted over to a reactive pattern, and that's where the yelling is, and that's where our tempers come, and that's where we hand out punishments that often don't fit whatever the child just did, and we miss the mark. Remember, we want to meet their emotional and their developmental needs. We want to set boundaries that are appropriate. We want to stay consistent and follow through while validating their emotions. So instead, I want you to treat the behavior that you are seeing with neutrality. Just start there. Resist the need to call them manipulative, because naturally, when we feel that way, we are taking it personal. When we take it personal, we become reactive. If you need additional support with this, I have a free 60-minute workshop. If you go to the link in my profile, that teaches my 4-step process called PAR. It stands for Pause, Acknowledge, Respond, Reflect. This is a way of helping parents shift from reactive to more responsive so that you can show up for your kids in the way that they need, and you can also work and attune to what they need while also self-regulating yourself. So treat the behavior with neutrality. Okay, look at it for what it is. They're crying every time I say no. Every time I take something away or it's time to put something away, they struggle with this transition or whatever it might be. When we can look at a behavior with neutrality, we can often then ask ourselves, what is the developmental skill that they're showing me they don't have? Once they gain that skill, I should see a reduction in that behavior. And that's where we want our focus to be. Yes, we want to build boundaries around the behavior. Yes, we want to be able to show them what is allowed and what isn't allowed. That's totally fair. But when you are dysregulated and reactive and yelling and handing out punishments, that is not the way to get them from point A to point B. So as a result, what ends up happening is usually, especially if you have a strong-willed child, they double down and they become more escalated, they push back harder, and you usually have this big kind of fallout on your hands, or a situation that only keeps getting worse until one of you fatigues. So instead, treat the behavior with neutrality, look at what that developmental skill is that they don't have. Examples of this would be frustration tolerance. Can they tolerate the frustration when they don't get the result that they want or the outcome that they want? Is it that they can't tolerate waiting? Is it that they struggle to manage their impulses? Is it that anytime they feel like something's going to get taken away, they feel very protective? Like, what are they showing you under? Let's work on that so that we can then see a reduction in the behavior we don't want to see. But the minute we make it personal, that's when we start to become reactive. And ultimately, kids are not manipulative. Kids learn from their own experiences. So they just make sense out of the experiences that they have, and then they apply those lessons onto whatever event comes up next. So try it out and let me know how it goes.